basketball games are very, very, very important to a lot of people. They're very important to coaches because it's how we eat, it's how we make a living. Very, very important to players because they have such passion, you know, when you're young and you want to be a great player. And so basketball games are incredibly important to a lot of people, the fans. You know, there's a lot of people it's important, but it's not, it pales to when you start talking about something that's, you know, an amazing cause. It's not entertainment, you know, it's not, you know, something that we all do, a getaway for fun or whatever. So I think it's fantastic that the coaching community embraced it years ago. I wish I would have thought of it years ago, but I'm proud of our coaching community that we do embrace it and have impacted research as much as we have. You know, I love the awareness. You know, we wear the, I'm gonna say bad looking tie. I don't know if I should say that, if that's correct, but good looking shoes I thought though, but bad looking tie, good looking shoes, to, you know, awareness. And awareness is great, but fundraising is even more important because that's where the research comes. And proud that the coaches have stood behind that and helped in a big way.
Can you talk a little bit more about what this supporting a cause like this means to you personally?
Yeah, yes, but I always hate to make it like, because I know everybody has this, you know, it's not like I have a unique one that 1 in 100 people, you know, I like most people, I love my mother beyond anyone in the world, other than my dad, you know, and when I was young, when you start hearing about cancer, you just shudder when you heard the C word, you know, and years go by, and then my mom contacted breast cancer, and again, this is not unique, it just happened to be incredibly powerful to me, and she got breast cancer, she actually beat it, and then had kind of an offshoot bone cancer, and then she passed in 13. I was coaching here, and you know, still to this day, the worst thing that's ever happened to me. So that's the personal side of it. But you know, I know that I don't own that. I just share that with millions and millions of people. That's all.
When you have a game like this, and like you said, the coaching community is embracing this, they have the bit where they show people holding the signs up on the video board. Do you allow yourself during the game to think about this?
I did. Yeah.
Program.
I do every year. Yeah. I mean, I think of, you know, there's different times. You know, I'll think about my parents during a game anyway, but certainly, you know, in the cancer week today, without a question. Especially when they were coming back, I was like, "What do we do now, Mom? What do we do?" No, I'm kidding, but yes, during the game, it does hit you a few times. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of when they were coming back, you talked about the first game with ECU. You had a lead at halftime, and they came back and got you at the end. Tonight, they start with a 9-1
My
run.
God, I thought we were playing the exact same game. If for any of you that watched, we played a fantastic first half at their place. Fantastic. I mean, we were on it, both ends, and came out and just like a whole other team. I don't know if there was poison gas in our locker room. I don't know what they did to us over there, but we were a completely different team. All of a sudden, the defense went soft as could be. All of a sudden, our offense didn't look the same. And I said to our staff on the bench that it's the same game. We're playing the exact same darn game. And I think they cut it to 6 or 8 or whatever, and I was going to call timeout. And players all looked over and gave me the stops because they knew I was going to call timeout. And they gave me the stop sign, which I like. Like, no, we're not going to do that. So I figured, all right, well, if you're going to not do that, then don't do that. So we didn't call time, and they go from 6 to, what do we get up, 23 at 21, 22, whatever. So loved our team tonight. Best offensive game of the year, best execution, most unselfish, best ball movement, best spacing, best basketball we played all year without question, start to finish on the offensive end. Love the way we played on offense. Love the way we played on defense the first half. liked it some in the second half, is the way I would characterize it. But not good enough for 40 minutes of defense yet.
What'd you think of the way CJ played? I know he's
Great.
kind of been in and out sometimes, but he's getting a lot of time right now.
Well, he's been getting more and more
Yeah.
because, you know why, like, you know, when the season starts and everybody plays in practice, you know, there's 10 guys that get to play, right? There's 10 guys that play and you sub them all, so everybody thinks they're gonna play. This is what happens, and, well, it didn't happen the last few years, we didn't have 10, but this is normal stuff. You have 10 guys playing on a court at the same time, and then all of a sudden the game's coming and it dawns on everybody, oh my gosh, only 5 play at a time. And then not 12 or 13 usually get in a game, and now things change. So then, this is life, you know, so, okay. So you find yourself on the short end of, well, I'm not one of those 5, so what do you do about it? And my way of saying it is, well, you can get sad, or you can get mad, or you can get a crappy attitude, which is gonna really make you sad, because that never works. Or you can just grit your teeth and get mad and go, I'm gonna work my way back. And I'm so proud of CJ because he has shown a lot of maturity in practice. Honestly, last year, that was not the way he handled things. He's a really good kid, you know, but he handled it not as mature last year as I would like. His parents would be very proud. I know they are, because he's fought through it, and he decided he's got a little different look on his face at practice. He kind of sets his jaw, and all of a sudden, we're going to reward him for it. And you can see that it's going in that direction. He's a talented player. Now he makes some shots. All of a sudden, things change, and now all of a sudden your role's different, because you've shown us and your teammates you're going to fight for this team, and that's how you make it. And guys make huge mistakes by thinking the way to make it is to pout up or point fingers or blame or whatever. And I'm very proud of what he's done. I'm proud of Charles. Charles is a freshman that it's hard. You look across the country, it's hard for a freshman to get a lot of time. It just is. It's a men's game, and it's an experience game. Charles is really bright. Charles is really talented. Charles is really skilled. Charles got a chance to be a great player, but he wasn't ready. Okay, no fault of his. He could have got one of those attitudes and heck with this and all that. Never. All he does is listens to every word. He probably listens as well as anyone on our team, which I love. And he's starting to get rewarded, and all of a sudden now your team is forming. The guys say, okay, well, I'm going to fight for my minutes, and this is just going to make us better. So I'm really proud of those 2 guys, of kind of just doing it the right way with maturity and character. And in the end, maturity and character wins out an awful lot. And I'm very happy and proud of both of them, and they're going to be important. And in the future, they're going to be very important.
Just to piggyback off of that, you know, you look at the stat sheet, and your 9 guys, the 9 rotation, everybody scores. That's obviously a difficult task if you're an opponent here. But what does that say to you as the head coach?
That says we're playing right. That says we're playing the way that I picture that we should play. And I can tell you there's been a lot of ball that I've watched this year that we're not playing at all like I would like to see us play at times. I don't mean that it's, you know, I mean, we've had a lot of people, media, coaches, kind of bragging on your offense, and it's like, I don't see it. I don't. I see it stretches, but I'm not. No, we're not close to what I see we could do. Now today we were. Today that was. I mean, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. And that's a team that for the year is holding opponents to 40% from the field, 27% from 3. That's a really solid defensive team, numbers-wise, in the country. And are they the best defensive team? No, but that's pretty good numbers they put up in whatever number of games. And we just did that. And we didn't do it just because people got hot. We did it because we were on top of a lot of things with a lot of the right thoughts. And it's what we've been preaching from day one. I saw it in practice in a big way this week. Then I saw it in the game. I've seen it in practice before, but we don't always take it to the game. Because sometimes when you go to the game, that ball gets stickum on it. It gets real sticky, and it's hard to get out of your hand. until I dribble it 3 times. And once I dribble it 3 times, then I can sometimes get it out of my hand. Tonight, no dribble, 1 dribble, ball's moving, people are open, ball's reversed, guys are spaced, they're concentrating on getting space, getting their hands ready, and that was good basketball. I'm really proud. I enjoyed watching these guys play a lot tonight, the most I've enjoyed all year.
After the last game, you talked about Ethan saying you think there's more there that he can give you. Tonight he goes 4 for 5, 2 of 3 on threes, and 12 points. What do you think of his performance?
I thought he played very, very well. You know, he's a really good passer. He kind of a little playmaker, made shots, which obviously always makes him look better. Hit a big 3 in the corner. You know, kind of needed a kind of a decider of which way the momentum's going to go. I thought Emmanuel hit a big shot too. Sometimes some shots are just bigger than others. You know, like we needed that. And I thought Emmanuel hit a big one. I thought Ethan hit a big one. Really good performance. You look at you know, the pair of them and Isaiah. Obviously, JC's confidence is coming. You know, he gives us some things. The 2 of them are a great combination, and some nights, you know, the minutes will change, of course, but you look at what they gave us at their position, 18 points and 9 rebounds and several assists. That's pretty good at one position. So I thought Ethan did very well, and Isaiah.
You guys, obviously Memphis, and then obviously Cincinnati too this week. How important is this next week for you guys in terms of what you're trying to accomplish?
Well, you know, the truth is, I don't know that you can rate the importance, but certainly because they are upper level thought of, whatever nationally, it probably magnifies the games. There are no must wins or whatever, and I understand. I didn't understand. I saw when I was coming out of the locker room, I think they're down 40-17 at Tulsa, for gosh sakes, which doesn't mean that's, you know, that might mean because Tulsa plays a matchup zone, they can't attack it. It might mean they can't make a shot. It might mean they got 3 guys sick and 1 guy hurt. I don't know. But I know when they go back home, Memphis is an incredible, powerful, talented, one of the most talented teams in America. So that's actually bad news that they were, you know, I'd rather play a team off a win any day of the week. So, but yeah, of course it's important. But this was important. I mean, what would we be saying if we lost this game? Oh my God, how important was that? You know, they're all incredibly important. But I look at, let's say the next game, it's more about an opportunity game than it is an important game. Not many people are going to go to Memphis and win. They're not. So it's more, I look at it as it's a big opportunity with an incredible challenge.
You said after the Temple game that when you played Ferran 20 minutes or whatever it was, that one of the things you wanted to see was how he responded physically. And Monday night on your show, you said he looked pretty decent in practice, I think.
Yeah.
What'd you think? How was he feeling tonight? What'd you think of his performance tonight?
You know, pretty good. I'm sure he wants a lot more minutes. You know, sure he'd like to get minutes, but I thought he did a lot of things well. I'll have to watch the film. So much of it for me is grading out defensively, and that's where I am telling our players. We did it from day one, but honestly, I got a little lax because of the inexperienced players, you know, not feeling like maybe they're quite as ready, or me not having quite as much confidence in them. Now I have confidence in everybody going in the game and knowing that they're going to do the right thing. They know what they're doing. And that allows you then to more fairly grade out how someone is really playing. And, you know, stat sheets are one thing and that certainly need to be looked at, but there's way more behind a stat sheet of winning and losing. You can have and I'm not talking about Ferran, I'm talking about just in general, you can have 15 points and 7 rebounds and you can contribute greatly to your team's loss. If you're not on point on a lot of defensive things, or the ball stuck, or your spacing was bad, or these are all subtle things that the fan is not going to see. But that's what coaches see. That's what we study all day. And you know, who is doing their job, the job that they're asked to do, is attention to the detailed things and learning them and embracing them. That's what makes teams get great. Those are the teams in the end that go far in the NCAA tournament. Those are the ones that win championships. And I've lived a lot of those, and I've lived the other. I've lived it where it's like, this thing is, you know, it's made of paper. The house is made of paper and straw, as opposed to bricks, you know, and mortar, and that's what you're looking for. So Ferran, I thought he played very well from what I saw, but you know, what we're looking for on everybody is at this point in the year of being on task of the assignment that's called for at the time.
So is he grading well? And obviously today you said he played well, but is part of the 22 minutes because of that?
There was a stretch where I felt like, and I've talked to him about it, it's like, we got to get you more on point. And he's very bright, and so he's very capable. But this is a maturity thing. Again, I don't mean it's immature, but it's a maturity thing that happens. It's why old teams are so hard to beat, because they start to understand that it's more than just, you know, a talent. If we have talent, well, we're going to win, because we look at these guys. And it's not that. It's having enough talent that plays incredibly hard for one mission, and then also understands that not just playing hard is enough, but really having 5 guys on the same page at all times in the game. That's high level, and that's where you want to play. Ferran at times can get lax on those things. Sometimes he can be fantastic at those things. I just want him to become a great player. I want him to become a great player, and you're not a great player until you play incredibly hard on every play, and until you're in the right place most every single time doing the job that you're supposed to do. And he's capable of that, and I'm confident he's gonna raise his level. But I'm not upset with him. I'm not. But just we've had some guys that are, you know, more on task right now. Not that he's not, but they deserve minutes. So we've got to get him somewhere.
Piggybacking off your idea that there's more behind the numbers that we see on the stat sheet, East Carolina outscores you on fast break points, 19-3. Does that raise any red flags to you as far as transition defense or anything like that?
Wow, I didn't actually hadn't read that deeply into the stat sheet. Yeah, that bothers me. Yeah, I'll have to see why that happened. Jeez, that might be the worst of the year, right? I didn't feel that. I don't know that I felt that during the game. It was that bad. So I'll have to watch the film on that. That's awful. That's awful. I'll tell you what's a dumb stat, and I don't know how they decide when it is a fast break point. How do they? Does anyone know? I don't. I mean, I've only done this for 1,000 years. 1,000 years, and I don't know what a fast break point is. Was it an almost fast break, or was it kind of a fast, or was it really a fast break? I don't know. But the dumbest one, and please help me change this, is points off turnovers is the dumbest stat ever, because, you know, they count like if you charge and the other team takes the ball out of bounds and brings the ball down against your half-court defense. I mean, that's not a basket off a turnover. You travel, the other team comes down, am I right?
Yes.
Points off turnover should be you coughed it up, they stole it, they went to that's the one that matters. Like, this is what you need to know is, oh my God, we threw it to them 4 times, they got 8 points on dunks. Now that's what we gotta clean up, not, well, we know when they travel, they're gonna come down, and guess what? Half the time they're gonna make a shot, half the time they're not, and it's just ridiculous. But I don't know, I'm not deep enough into fast break points, but that looks terrible. I know that on the stat sheet, I can tell you that looks terrible. Didn't we get any fast break points?
Part of that might be because you had one of the best 3-point shooting nights ever at SMU. I think it was.
Is it?
Yeah,
Like
it's
a history.
second most makes ever.
Wow, I told you it was good offense. I like records, positive records, not so much the negative records. So I don't know, I have to look into that one. Let's look into that point. What is a fast break point even? Let's find that out.
It's about a 6 second, about 6 seconds.
Oh, it
On the
is?
shot clock. If you
I
take the
didn't
shot,
know.
about 6 seconds.
So if you score within 6 seconds.
Oh, if you take the shot within about 6 off the shot clock.
All right, we better get, then yes, yes, it does, and what terrible timing to go to Memphis. Yes, so now I know what practice is gonna be tomorrow, thanks to you, thankfully.
Good job, Steve.
Yes.